Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Politico that was published on May 17th, written by Daniel Samuelson. And yeah, all I gotta say is the Democrats, they're wanting to continue the Trump witch hunt. Just ain't going their way. Just look at the title here. Mueller's House testimony likely off until at least June. And what I think is funny is I think they're wanting to play it like, oh, well, this really sucks. And they're going, whew. I honestly do believe that with this. Because he isn't going to give him shit. He's got nothing on Trump. So them bringing him in isn't going to help them in with, taking care of getting Trump out of office in their Trump deranged state that they're in. But, hey. I'm just some guy on the internet. What do I know? Anyway, House Democrats are backing away from plans to hold a blockbuster hearing this month with Robert Mueller after talks stalled out with the special counsel and his representatives. Which, the reason why I think that happened is because they're like, yeah, you're going to come in and say this, right? And he's like, I'm not going to say that. I can't. And they're like, yeah. I mean, they're trying to negotiate this, I think, hoping that they're going to get him to be able to... bolster their bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler, dipshit Democrat from New York, and a senior Democratic committee aide told Politico on Friday that there's no Mueller hearing planned for next week, though that could also change at a moment's notice if the special counsel said he's ready to testify. Oh, don't be playing hard to get now. You desperate bastards. It's like, oh, well, if he's ready to testify, we'll drop everything. If he's ready to push the shit we want him to, we'll drop everything tomorrow. Hell, we'll drop it today. Oh my God. I would not assume, Nadler replied when asked whether Mueller would be appearing before the upcoming Memorial Day recess, which starts next Friday. Oh, of course not, because he isn't going to help you. A judiciary staffer later added, Mueller could always call us and say, the heck with it. I want to come in Wednesday, and we would make time. But at the moment, no Mueller planned for next week. See, they're like, hey, Mueller, if you decide you want to come in now, we'll bend over backwards for you. They're putting that message out there pretty hardcore, huh? This is what's funny. They know they're screwed. And they're literally like, hey, Mueller, come on in. We'll drop everything. Yeah, please. We want you to say what would help us on getting rid of Trump. Come on, even though you didn't find shit. And that's probably why, because they want him to probably testify to things that he cannot testify to. And that's part of this negotiation, I'm sure. And they also want him to say things that he's ethically and legally barred from talking about or giving his opinion on, or, risking with it on the note of the legal side of things, possibly perjuring himself. I mean, yeah. That's what it sounds like to me is going on behind the scenes. Nadler had set a tentative May 23 deadline for Mueller to publicly testify in a letter last month after the release of a redacted version of the special counsel's 448-page report, which only had things like shit that's legally required to be redacted, like grand jury stuff, removed from it. And I love how he gives this deadline, and now he's walking the shit back, because he's hoping that Mueller can help them in there trying to oust Trump. So he doesn't want to piss off Mueller. If he could get on his knees and suck Mueller's dick to get him to come in, I'm sure Nadler would do that. But the prospect of a Mueller hearing before Nadler's judiciary panel or a separate hearing with the House Intelligence Committee has been stuck in limbo ever since a broader fight between Democrats and the Trump administration over access to documents and testimony tied to the special counsel's Russia investigation. No, you wanted people like Barr to be questioned by fucking lawyers instead of the actual representatives in the House that are on those committees. Let's be honest about this. And Barr went, go fuck yourself. You want to do the same thing with Mueller, from what I understand. He don't want to be involved with that shit. He doesn't. You people are looking to use Mueller to try to go after Trump. And he's your guy. So you're hoping it would benefit you. And because he's got nothing, you're like, well, he might not be in. Because you really don't want him there. So you're trying to blame Trump for that situation with him. President Donald Trump earlier this month wrote on Twitter that Mueller should not testify, and his administration has invoked or threatened to invoke executive privilege on a range of outstanding congressional requests, including access to a full unredacted version of the special counsel's report and its underlying evidence. I love how they put underlying evidence. They mean grand jury testimony. They're talking about the grand jury minutes. They're talking about the stuff from the grand jury that is supposed to remain sealed. They want access to that. The only reason why they would want access to something like that is so that maybe they can go after the grand jurors. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And that's why they keep that information confidential, so that you don't go after the grand jurors, so that you don't go after people who testified. There's a reason for it, but yet the Democrats want to break the law. Or they want Barr, I should say more precisely, to break the law and just hand it over to him. After spending more than $35 million over a 2-year period interviewing 500 people, using 18 Trump-hating angry Democrats and 49 FBI agents, all culminating in a more than 400-page report showing no collusion, why would Democrats in Congress now need Robert Mueller? And he's right to that, to testify. Are they looking for a redo because they hated seeing the strong no collusion conclusion? Of course they are. There is no crime except on the side, incredibly not covered in the report, except on the other side, incredibly not covered in the report, and no obstruction. Bob Mueller should not testify. No redos for the Dems. And he's right. Okay, Mueller's looking for all this Russian shit, Russian interference and all that. Hillary has ties going back to, well before Uranium One, with oligarchs and shit like that. Mueller was her bag man. Oh, wait a minute. That's probably why they didn't investigate that side of the Russian collusion bullshit. Because, that might just fuck them. In an interview Thursday with Wall Street Journal, Attorney General William Barr said it's up to Mueller to decide whether to appear before lawmakers. Yes, but you notice how they're trying to portray like it's Trump's fault that he hasn't gone there? It's Bob's call whether he wants to testify, said Barr, who Nadeller's Judiciary Committee earlier this month voted to hold in contempt of Congress for failing to turn over a copy of the full Mueller report. So basically, he upholds the law about not releasing grand jury testimony, and they put him in contempt of court for that. And what's funny is you notice you don't see Politico reporting on that fact going, well, the reason why this report was redacted because of the grand jury testimony, because of the grand jurors, because of those people needing to be protected. And, that's the law. No, they're going, oh, well, he's in contempt of Congress because he didn't hand it over. He's making sure he does not break the law, he himself. And they're trying to portray it as a different type of situation. It's so vile that they would actually try to do this. Oh, what do I expect at this point from Democrats? This is the type of shit that they're going to do, regardless. So far, Democrats and Mueller have yet to reach an agreement on details or timing for a hearing with the special counsel. Peter Carr, a Mueller spokesman, declined to comment when asked Friday about the special counsel making a public appearance before lawmakers. And you want to know why they probably haven't reached agreement? As I've already said, it's because they probably are trying to get him to commit to things that he does not want to commit to, like on the note of, say, making public statements under oath, for example. I mean, this is what it seems like to me. It just really does. Mueller remains a government employee and still has a small staff assisting him with closing down his office. Carr has confirmed. Yeah. I don't see how this is pertinent, but okay. But Carr has also no further explanation for the discrepancy from an earlier comment he gave reporters in mid-March upon the announcement that the Russia probe was over, that Mueller planned in the coming days to leave the Justice Department. So wait, he's closing down his office, winding it down like he's supposed to do, and because he isn't out quick enough, you're going, there might be something going on there? Are you Fucking kidding me? You people are idiots. You really do like to find something out of nothing. Congressional hearings with Mueller are expected to cover a wide range of topics, from his conclusion that he found no evidence that anyone from the Trump campaign colluded with Russia to win the 2016 presidential election, to his decision to not charge the president with obstruction of justice. Well, number one, Trump didn't commit obstruction. All right, bitching about a witch hunt on fucking Twitter is not obstruction, you dumb shits. Yet you're still trying to, being the media and you loving your media crimes, as Hard Bastard would put it, you're trying to make it sound like that's an actual crime. He did not obstruct justice. That little tidbit he threw in was just to give that glimmer of hope to dipshits like you, and to give the Democrats something that they could hopefully latch onto, like the rabid, brain-damaged dogs that they are, and maybe turn into something. Republicans eyeing a Mueller hearing see it as a chance to press the special counsel on the underlying motivations for the investigation and his reliance on FBI agents who shared anti-Trump text messages. Yeah, that's probably another reason why they don't want, Mueller doesn't want to be in front of Congress testifying. Because now that opens him up to the Republicans calling out his shit. And after watching Stroke almost stroke out, I don't think he really wants to get there and have to deal with that. Democrats, meantime, have signaled interest in pressing Mueller to see whether there's any additional daylight between him and Barr, whom the special counsel criticized in writing for failing to fully capture the context, nature, and substance of the Russia investigation during its public rollout. Because he didn't add shit that did not need to be there, that Mueller had put there, and he wanted. That's what they're saying that is. Give me a fucking breaker. That's what Mueller's saying happened with that. With the idea of, he didn't fully capture the context, nature, and substance. No, he boiled it down to the basics and said, yeah, this is what the conclusion was. And because it didn't have the shit that you threw in to try to give the Democrats a little bit of hope when they have absolutely nothing, you got upset, didn't you, Mueller? You poor little baby. I mean, this is the type of shit that's going on here. I mean, this is ridiculous, all right? The fact that Mueller isn't there testifying doesn't bode well for the Democrats. Any which way you slice it, all right? Because it looks like they want him to commit the things that he can't commit to because legally it could probably put his ass in jail. He doesn't want to go in front of these committees and have the Republicans questioning him because he knows that's not going to end well for him. So he's damned if he do, he's damned if he doesn't. And any which way, the Democrats are going to look like shit in the end. So they should probably just let this go. Let it fade away, sweep it under the rug, and move on. I mean, that's just my opinion. But anyway. Yeah, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.